I don't know if that actually answers your question. That's certainly feedback.
So when I was sort of invited to be on this panel, I thought, well, I'm going to write vampires. And as a writer, I find vampires more interesting to write. I've done a zombie story myself recently, and Felicity's zombie story, Scary Kisses, is amazing. So I'm like, I'm not anti-zombie, I had to decide, I like vampires. So here I am, and now I'm really, really worried my fellow panelists on this night, they're going to sneak up behind me and stake me for being a traitor to the class. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's interesting that I do think that recently, to have more serious numbers, more interesting things are happening with zombies in the writing form, but I haven't read all the zombie fiction, so I've missed stuff in the last few years.
There is a way to make zombies more interesting, and it's one that I've explored in my own work. Basically, you have to freeze them. If you freeze them, you know, then it stops the smell. You know, and parts no longer fall off. The maggot cease to be a problem. And they can be preserved for much longer time. I mean, that's the process of decay. You know, these dead mammoths lived for thousands of years. So frozen zombies, you know.
What are you keeping them for? Oh, I might do that later.
To give you the props for the zombie team, there are two relatively new zombie releases that I'm extremely keen to get my hands on. So one's not as new, which is Worldcon, and the other is Narrelle M, which I desperately want to read. Do you have any comments on those?
I very much enjoyed World War Z, and the audio version is very good as well, which you hear some famous actors performing all the parts in World War Z. But I would like to point out, just talking out books, Amelia Beamer has a novel called Walking Dead. Her first novel is a zombie novel, and for those who were saying zombies cannot be sexual or erotic, she provides the answer to that one. So I would say track that one down.
It's turning my little Smackdown into, let's share tips. Oh, we're all reasonable at it, yeah? I will go back to some questions. We'll hold the phone. Is anyone at the very back who I haven't seen yet wanted to ask a question? Okay. You've been just behind the barrier? Yeah. Well, now speak really loud so we can hear you and repeat the question. Buffy the Zombie Slayer, not so much of a hit as on Twitter there. But I have to say, it's right while we're watching.
Yeah.
So that was the comment, the question? So is it? Okay. We'll come back down the front in a second, right up the very back there.
If vampires are soulless aristocrats and zombies are the brainless mass, which are the Liberals and which are the Labor Party?
The trouble with that question is, again, for our international audience, the Liberals are our conservatives, and the Labor Party are also our conservatives. They used to be the party of the working class and social progress, but that was a long time ago now. I think they're green. But as for them all, because Soul the Sun's dead, if anybody ever wishes or has your phone with you now, you may Google pictures of Tony Abbott. And, who was Mr. Cadaver himself? No, not Rudder. The guy who's at Amnesty International. Still Rudder. Not Rudder. Man, that guy's clearly got a skin condition, or has been undead for quite a long time. He terrifies me. But it's both sides. You have generally got people who, you know, I'm feeling really depressed now. Let's talk about something.
Yeah, just wanted to make a comment with regards to... Oh, sorry.
We'll come back.
Well, I was just thinking that with zombies, they're wandering around. Food will eventually run out of them and they'll eventually fall apart. But vampires, since they're smart, wouldn't they just start farming humans? Put them into
Yeah, so the zombies eat everything because they don't plan ahead, so they'll eventually start to them eating everything, and vampires can farm us because that feels so much better.
Yeah. I can't argue that without saying about daybreakers.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't go so well, but it's
Or read Ultraviolet, the British TV vampire TV series. Especially farming gets ready to do.
There's a really big problem though in Daybreak. It's in the main guy played by sorry. This is just a real plot logic problem that's apparent in the first 5 minutes. The whole problem is meant to be that there's a shortage of blood because people are running out, but the main guy is eating animal blood. And so like, well, if you can do that, why is the whole problem?
I think the technology actually wasn't very effective. It's only holding off the change.
They didn't make that apparent, but anyway.
You're looking like you've got something to say, George?
No.
Okay.
It looks like that. Now, I would put to you that if a vampire were to bite a zombie, nothing would happen. No blood. But if a zombie were to bite a vampire, we'd end up with a zombie vampire.
Awesome!
So that the zombie is truly more powerful because which comes which.
You've got to catch the vampire, so the whole flying thing, turning into a wolf and running away thing, I think that gives you, it makes it kind of harder.
Turning into a mist.
Yeah, it's really hard to get enough of mist.
What about at night?
The gentleman we interrupted before.
I was just going to make a comment with regard to traditional traditional zombie that George keeps mentioning. The only way to kill one of those is to fill its mouth up with salt and so its lips shut. So they're very hard to kill.
And I've got no sewing skills. I'm a modest girl. I just buy new shit. Oh, you point. You pick. It doesn't have to be me.
Zombie vital vampire. Normally the zombie bite has to be fatal to cause transformation. How will that kill a vampire? And two, vampires can hide in the human community. Ever seen a zombie try that?
I don't think a zombie bite has to be fatal to turn someone into a zombie. I think once you're bitten, you're done. You're a zombie, that's it.
You're applying logic here.
We'll go, I'll come back to you in a minute, but a bit further up the back. Green striped shirt.
Could you repeat it?
Nothing but a few safety accounting.
I think we've covered that one.
Apparently that's our argument. You may lose a zombie or two at the beginning, but the way that them will push down the barbed wire so the others can climb over.
Yeah, well, there's something they want on the other side. They'll just swarm until they climb over.
Rather horribly, it's a bit like the song.
Yeah,
Actually, something really inappropriate. I'll never another question.
Just during the discussion, I had a very horrible enlightenment because if the vampires are the high and mighty and the zombies are the bogans, does this make the middle class the prey that they both feed on?
The middle class is the werewolves. The werewolves are the bourgeoisie. The vampires are the upper class aristocracy, and the zombies are the lumpen proletariat. So it's all perfectly explainable. The werewolves, in Marxist terms, the werewolves are the bourgeoisie. They're the average people. Even a man who's pure at heart and such as prayer for night can become a wolf when the wolf bed moves and the autumn moon is bright. So it can happen to anyone.
We can.
We've got about 10 minutes, 8 minutes left on the panel. So perhaps 2 more questions and then around it? How does that sound? So hands up. Who hasn't had a yes. Hi there, there.
Can each member of the panel actually answer which one they would actually like to see? Shuffling corpse or a Harris dress?
To me, that's an easy one. I would certainly be a blood sucking aristocrat with my personal terror.